Have you ever had a day so weird or funny you thought, this should be a comic? Well, according to artist Hikari Vitamin, it absolutely can be. In fact, your whole life can. Today, we're going to dive into her guide for turning your everyday life into your very own illustrated diary manga. This right here is the big idea, the thing that drives this entire creative process. It's not really just about drawing. It's about shifting how you see your own life. When you decide you're the main character, all of a sudden, even boring moments have potential. It's such a simple thought, but wow, it is powerful. So what exactly is an illustrated diary manga? Well, you can think of it like a personal time capsule, but way more fun. It's a way to grab all those little fleeting moments, the funny thing a friend said, a small one at work, a weird thought you had on the bus, and keep them from just disappearing. You're not just writing it down, you're making it art. Okay, so you're ready to start? Where do you begin? You might think it's with drawing, but nope. The first, most important step is actually figuring out your story. The secret to a really good one-page comic is laser focus. And this is the golden rule, according to Hikari Vitamin. One manga, one topic. Don't try to cram everything that happened today onto a single page. Her secret trick? Come up with a clear, simple title before you even think about drawing. If you can boil your story down to a punchy title, you know you've got your focus. Let's look at a real example. On the left, a title like The Day I Became Villager A. It's perfect. We immediately get the vibe. It's about that one, single, relatable feeling of being an NPC in someone else's world. But on the right, Shinkansen Popping Shower. It's kind of confusing, right? It's about a vending machine, but also about an ice cream flavor. It pulls you in two different directions. So the lesson is simple. Find your one wow moment for the day and just stick with that. All right, you've got your focused idea. Awesome. Now, how do we turn that little spark into a full-blown narrative? This next part is all about building the flow and laying out your story in panels. My favorite piece of advice here is to keep it simple, especially when you're starting out. Don't feel like you have to create some super complex page layout. A classic 4-koma, which is just a 4-panel vertical strip, is perfect. The structure is already there for you. Or just a simple 3-row grid. Heck, even one panel works. The goal isn't to be fancy, it's to get it done and build that creative muscle. Now, here's a really cool Japanese storytelling concept, furito ochi. It translates to build-up and punchline. But don't get stuck on the word punchline. It doesn't have to be a joke. It's really about the emotional shift. The story starts with one feeling and ends with another. Like the example here. You go from, ugh, summer is a drag, to, hey, summer is actually fun. That journey, that's the heart of your comic. Hikari Vitamin makes paneling so easy with this 3-step process. First, just break your story down into a few key beats. 2, put each of those beats into its own panel. And 3, this is the secret sauce. Find the most important moment, the emotional peak, and make that panel bigger. It's a simple visual trick that tells your reader, hey, pay attention to this part. Here's a pro tip that is just gold. Tell your story to someone else before you draw it. So in this example, the artist was focused on the misery of getting a blood test, where she was poked 9 times. Ouch. But when she told her friend, the part they thought was hilarious was her being pampered by 5 nurses. That feedback totally changed the story. It showed her where the real punchline was. Sometimes you're just too close to it to see what's actually entertaining. Okay, story and structure are sorted. Let's get practical and talk about the actual tools. Getting your setup right is so important for making this a habit that you can actually stick with. The age-old question, digital or analog? Honestly, the answer is simple. The best tool is the one you'll actually use. It's that easy. For what it's worth, the author loves her 11-inch tablet. It's portable, and let's be real, that undo button is a beginner's best friend. It takes a lot of the pressure off. And for anyone going digital, here are her exact settings. You can pretty much just copy these and get started. That A5 canvas size is super smart because it means your pages are ready to be printed in a book someday. And definitely don't ignore the resolution and font size tips. They make a huge difference in how professional your work looks, both online and off. And a very relatable warning. If you use a program like Procreate or Clip Studio, you know what she's talking about. The endless, tempting world of custom brushes. It is so much fun to try them all, but it can also become a massive time sink that keeps you from actually, drawing. So find a few you like and just roll with them. And that brings us to our final section, which is maybe the most exciting part of this whole thing, Developing your own unique style. First up, you need an avatar. This is you. It could be a person, a simple shape, an animal. The author draws herself as a lucky cat, which is awesome. The number one rule is that you have to make a design that you personally love to draw again and again. And hey, don't be self-deprecating here. This is your manga world. You are absolutely allowed to be cute. This is so cool. The author did a StrengthsFinder personality test and had this amazing realization. Her top talents, things like ideation and positivity, were the exact same things her readers were praising her for. Her unique voice wasn't something she had to invent. It was just a natural extension of who she already was. So the lesson is, your style will come from just being yourself. And this quote really just sums it all up perfectly. When you start seeing the world this way, everything becomes story material. The good days, the bad days, it doesn't matter. They all have a purpose now. It's just a fantastic way to find the art and the fun hidden in your regular old life. So, the only thing left to do is to ask yourself, what happened today? What was that one little moment, that one small surprise? What's the first story you're going to draw?